Well, it's been a while, and a few things have changed. Not the wind though. But this is our new home. More on that in a later video. What this video is going to be is about ceramic coating and tinting a 2026 GMC Yukon Denali. We got the black 22-inch wheels. It's a Duramax 3.0. This is in the white, I think this is the Tri-Coat Frost paint. I'm not too sure, but what we're gonna be doing on this guy is matching the front windows to the rear, 70% Lumar Air 80 on the windshield, and then we are tinting that ginormous sunroof. And then we're gonna top it off by ceramic coating every single piece on the body, including the wheels. So stick with me and I'm gonna take you through the whole process. Okay, starting things off strong on this Yukon. So obviously we gotta do the front doors, full windshield, and this great big sunroof. So I already plotted off this piece here, shrunk it to the shape of the windshield, and hopefully it's right. Now what you guys get to witness is the struggle of me putting it in here. All right, just like that. Obviously, gotta clean the glass a little bit, whatnot, but that side's done, that side's not. So that just gives you a little difference here. Just doing 50%, nothing crazy dark, nothing out of this world. It's, infrared ceramic, so it is gonna reject a lot of heat. And I actually just caused that right there, that little air thing there. Okay, lay it right down, cool. Yeah, and I'll just leave this sit because I wiped up all the edges, so I shouldn't have any water really rushing back. It's pretty level. I mean, it's pitched slightly forward. And as far as getting water, in this area here, there are drains that run through here and down naturally. So, I mean, I have nothing to worry about in terms of getting anything wet and stuff. But so I'll probably throw you guys on a time lapse for the rear one. I'll bring you guys back for the front two doors because I am going to go home and eat. It is currently 5:20 in the afternoon. I'm just getting started on this, but yeah, then I'll bring you guys back when I come back down here tonight because I have to get this thing tinted in order for us to decon wash it in the morning and get it polished out over the weekend and hopefully coated Monday. Okay, the sunroof is fully tinted. Obviously it needs to cure up a little bit and stuff like that. Yeah, little trick I found, just take a towel like this and shove it up in between there a little bit and catches almost all the water that would come off that back edge. See, and this is the problem that I knew I was gonna have. So you see that little lip right there? The film, it's such a tight fit that getting it almost perfect, the water just wants to run back onto itself. So I just gotta keep working it and keep soaking it in until it fully dries. Yeah. Anyway, so now we're gonna work on the front doors. Luckily enough, so on these body styles, you guys have seen me before. So whether it's a GMC Sierra half-ton, Chevy Silverado 3/4 ton, Chevy Tahoe, Chevy Suburban, they all have the same door design in a way, in that you have two 7mm screws here, two on the bottom. and actually saw this guy on Facebook. He's, you know, because we used to pop this whole door panel off, and it was a, you know, 5-10 minute process to get this whole door panel off. This one guy said, well, hey, if you just pop this clip and the two that are over here, you can actually just peel this back like this. Now, it worked for getting the gasket out. We're going to find out if it works for getting the gasket back in, I guess. But now I'm going to tint the front two windows and bring you guys with. Okay, so to start this process, I'm going to go ahead and grab these two front windows. I have a 36-inch roll, so I'm just going to twist these sideways. And being as I am bottom loading, I don't have to worry about shrinking or anything like that. And then we're going to load the plotter up with 20%. Okay, we got our 20% loaded in. Going to go ahead, hit cut, and we're just going to send it.
You guys silly? I'm still going to send it.
Okay, so same thing we're gonna do. Let me adjust you guys up a little bit. Is that a good angle? Is that better? You guys good? Okay. It's currently 10:50 at night, but we're here. Okay, so this window, I already scrubbed it all. Razor, all that shit stuff. So I'm just gonna spray it down. Take my squeegee down. And out. Then we're gonna take my Good Conqueror, which is just this tri-edge with a squeegee on it. And then I get down below where the film goes. This back edge, swoop it down. Nice little flush. Press the bottom. Fill in the box. Go to the peel board. Oh yeah, that is one thing different from the old shop now, is I have glass mounted on the walls here. Compared to at the old shop, I had that old glass board on wheels that would always wheel me or, you know, go around with me. I still have it, and I use it for like semis or heavy equipment in the big shop area. But for vehicles and stuff like that, having those two glass boards or one on each side, absolute game changer. I don't know. Well, I do know why I waited so long. It's because I had nowhere to put it at the old shop. But yeah, now it's harder for me to tint without glass boards on both sides now. I've gotten very, very spoiled. And every morning I show up or whatever, I just take 30 seconds and squeegee them all off real quick and good to go for the day. Okay, pattern is lined up exactly where I want it. The issue though is I do have a little bit too much slip in my solution because of the sunroof. I wanted a little bit more in order to slide it around and get it in position. So I am slightly fighting that now. But we are good. Yeah, we're lined up really nice here. Yeah, and the purpose of this squeegee is just to remove 70–80% of the water. I'll spray it down one more time. This one has a lot harder of an edge compared to how soft that one is. And now this one is going to extract, you know, into that 90th percentile of water. Okay, so we're good there. And I just take this little tri-edge for this back corner. See, on the film did just slip on me just a hair. Good thing I caught that. Yep. I'm just gonna work all that out, and then I go to the other side of the vehicle real quick. If I can still talk to you guys, and grab my heat gun. And what I'm gonna do is heat up the top edge of the film so that way it locks it in place, because when I roll this window up and I go to squeegee out the bottom, I'm gonna squeegee all the water straight down And I do not want the film to move on me, like, at all, because I won't be able to see how far, or if at all, if the film moved. So just take this. And I am double checking my edge for tightness and alignment, because right now is the time to change anything if I don't like something. Good to go. Now we're just gonna roll it up all the way. Now I squeegeed basically down to almost here, because I had the window rolled down about an inch, inch and a half, but now I'm just gonna go ahead and final press all of this out. Starting from the center, moving all of that tension and spreading it out. Nice and even. Now I'll take my tri-edge one last time, finish off my edges, and then I will go through with my heat gun and my hard card that I lost. Oh, it's in this pocket. And I'll just heat up this bottom edge just to, I don't know, I guess. I do this just out of habit, because especially this time of year when it's really cold out, like 30s, it's nice just to have that bottom edge heat locked down so you don't have to worry about something popping back up like a finger or anything like that. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Now it's tinted, and I can move on to the final piece of glass, which is the windshield. Okay, so to start prepping the windshield for the tint, give it a good spray, scrub or dub her down, and then squeegee off any contamination that was on the glass. So I'm not gonna bore you guys to death and talk you through everything on this windshield, but now what I'm gonna do is put a dryer sheet on here, lay the film out, shrink the film to the curvature of the window, because the film is flat, the window is curved, and I have to, have the film account for that. And then what I'm gonna do is tomorrow morning when I see you guys, is that Matt and I are then gonna install it to the inside. So the only reason why it goes on the outside is to shrink it to the curvature. Okay, and just like that, this is all shrunk down. Now you might be asking, Spencer, that seems awfully light. Like I can see right through. That's because this is Lumar Air 80. It is almost as clear as the glass itself, but it has tons of heat rejection, UV rejection, all the fun stuff that you know and love about window tint, but it's clear. It's a crazy product. And it does give the vehicle, or at least the windshield, so to speak, a bluish hue, and that's because of, just the stuff the film is made out of. And obviously it's not installed right now. But yeah, I can show you kind of here on the roll, you see how it's got a really bluish texture here compared to, or color, compared to that. But anyway, it is now 11 something, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, and I'll see you guys in the morning for when we wrap up the windshield, decon wash, and that's probably about as far as we're gonna get before the weekend. And then go through, polish, do a one-step polish on the whole thing, app it, prep it, coat it, call it. So, see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning, guys. So, I didn't capture it last night, but this windshield is tinted now. Basically, I got it shrunk, and it was right around 11:30, and I was like, well, might as well try installing it by myself real quick. It's usually nice to have like a second person just somebody to hold the film, because I reverse roll it, and that's what leaves what allows me to have the least amount of contamination. But yeah, this windshield is fully tinted now, and it is hard to see. And obviously, I don't have much contamination. I mean, I got one speck right there, if you can see that. Yeah, that's dirt speck. The rest is just kind of water, air trapped in there and stuff like that. But yeah, this windshield's all done. But yeah, so now that the windshield's tinted, before I go through and decon wash this whole thing up, I wanted to grab my inspection light here and just show you guys what we're dealing with. So even though I have these super amazing bright lights, we're actually gonna shut them off and we're gonna turn this guy on and turn it to a yellow color mode, because that is what's gonna give us the most reflection and see what all is here in the paint. You can see a few swirls there. The white is looking good. We got just a little sanding mark right there. B-pillars are almost always scratched up. Going through the paint, again, the B-pillars are scratched up. We got some scratching right in that corner, but throughout the rest of it, it's actually in really good shape. And a lot of times too, when these cars, okay, so you can see from this point here, right below this window, all the way back is swirled out. And a lot of this too is because when these vehicles are shipped, they'll have like plastic on them and that could flap in the wind and stuff. You can see the taillight there. It's pretty scratched up. Now let's move on to the rear. Not really seeing anything though it's really standing out. This taillight here, some pretty deeper scratches there, but yeah, those taillights are really swirled up. But yeah, and this just goes to show that even though it's a brand new vehicle, I mean, it's got 73 miles on the dash, that, you know, the paint's not perfect on these, and that's what we're here for. And then you can see here around the door handle right above there, a few specks or a few swirls there. Otherwise, yeah, looks good otherwise. The headlights are very clear. Not much defects going on there. Yeah. So, with that being said, we're gonna get pulled out of here and on to decon wash. Okay, so continuing here on the Yukon, we're gonna work on these wheels and tires because we're gonna coat the face of these wheels. So all I'm doing here is taking some tar remover and getting rid of a little bit of this browning sling stuff here so it doesn't end up on my prep towel or coating applicator or all that fun stuff. Now what I'm gonna do is flip over to clean side towel and give her a wipe down. Starting at 12 o'clock, working my way around. Okay, now our wheel is fully prepped, ready to be coated, so I'm gonna go grab the coating and the applicator, and in the same manner that I did as far as prep, you know, working at 12 o'clock and around, is how I'm gonna go through with coating it. Now with how intricate these wheels are, it's really easy to get lost once you start, but as long as you stay organized and things like that, it should not be bad. Okay, so starting at our 12 o'clock and hitting every possible area I can shove this applicator into. Okay, so now that we let the coating sit here for a little bit, gonna take my gray, I think it's an Eagle 350, and level the coating off here. And with this coating, I mean, it is literally one swipe and you're done. This is by far the best leveling coating that I have found to date. So, and the nice thing too is in these little areas here where I might not have been able to coat, you know, because let's say I coated 100% of the surfaces on here, you know, I'd be lying to everybody on the world. But what this towel allows me to do is that's so plush. Not saying it's pushing the coating around, but I'm definitely noticing that it's, you know, pushing into areas maybe I didn't quite get in there with a foam stiff applicator in a way. So yeah, and this client too, I'm gonna tell him to maintain it, you know, with like a spray on, rinse off on these wheels, and that will get even more coverage on top of what I already have already. But yeah, and this coating just levels off beautifully. Okay, so right now it is 10:46. I got both of these wheels coated and Matt is going through and polishing everything up, making sure it's all up to spec. We're gonna cut these B pillar, C pillar, and D pillar, and then everything from this body line up, we're gonna go through and just give it a quick cut. Because I think what happened was when this was in transport, you know, because it has plastic all over it usually when they're on transport haulers, and it was just flapping in the wind because everything from that body line up is fairly scratched slash, you know, a little bit deeper swirling going on. But yeah, I mean, otherwise he's got all the way around, all polished up. He just has the roof left and this rear. Otherwise, turning out pretty good. Okay, so on this Yukon, we have it all polished out, cut. There are just some deep scratches. Very minimal. And now the whole thing is apped and prepped, ready to be coated. And it's done. I didn't capture as much footage as I want to because I was busy tinting that thing. So, with everything all said and done, this Yukon is now protected all the way around. So we applied C6 Hydro to all the painted surfaces, the glass and the wheels. The front two windows are done in Lumar IRX Formula 115. Front windshield is done in their Air 80. So it is virtually clear, just gives it a nice bluish tint to it. And then that right there is just, you know, I gotta clean up the glass. We just got small things left here. But yeah, she is looking good and glossy. In the morning, I've noticed letting this coating sit overnight, it definitely does add a little bit more pop to it. And just an overall shine gets added as the coating is getting set up here. So the nice thing is we don't need to let this coating sit for, you know, 12 to 48 hours, 4 hours after the coating has been applied. It can go out in the rain, it can get dirty, doesn't matter. So with that being said though, I appreciate you guys watching. If you can just like, subscribe, the typical YouTube stuff, it helps out the algorithm, that sort of stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next one. I'm not sure if I'll do a shop tour video, if you guys will see that before this video or after, but otherwise, stay tuned. We got some fun stuff coming up this week. I'm gonna shoot video of an 8RX that we have never done before. It's the one John Deere tractor. We haven't ceramic coated yet, but we have one scheduled for Thursday out by Jackson, Minnesota. So I'm gonna take you guys with, and we'll see you then.